So we just finished creating our database. So now it's time to connect our database and our design together. So as you can see, we are in the data design tab right here, and this is our design. So now we have to access the elements tree, which is right here, and all our design remains in group main. As you can see right here, this entire thing is group main. This entire blue border, uh, everything is group main basically. So now you want to expand this. To expand, you can click on this plus arrow, this plus sign, and it will expand one by one. And that is one way you can expand uh, inside of the elements tree. And the other way which you can expand the elements tree is you can click over here. Since we clicked on group main, most of our design will be visible here. If you scroll down to where the design is, you'd know where your design is located on the page. So I can go there, click on one of the element without moving anything. Just click on it once, and this property editor will show up. So you can scroll down and go to reveal, go down all the way here and click on reveal in elements tree, and you can see on the elements tree side everything will be expanded automatically. So it basically, when you click on the innermost element in the elements tree, all the elements above it also get expanded because this is the most inner element, right? So that's how it works. That's a little tip from me to you. So now we have to go all the way towards the top. Let's go to group professionals heading, and it's probably this. Yes. So let's click on this, and let's go ahead and rename this. So I'm going to rename this as insurance details, and that's pretty much it. And it also gets updated right here, which is good. So where are we? We are right here. Let's go ahead and change this as well. Insurance details. Okay, let's expand that. That is this. And in search, we'll come to search in a bit. Let's go to group professionals. Let's change this as well. Naming is really important. So let's go down to group professionals and let's change this as well. Insurance details. Naming is really important as it will make your time, like it will save you a lot of time, and it will, like when you're searching for a particular element, it will save you a lot of time. So we have reached the place where we first have the type of content connected to professionals. So earlier we duplicated the professionals page and renamed it to insurance doc, right? So it has basically taken all the database connections and the workflow along with it. So that is why the type of content is still professional. So let's go ahead and change this to insurance doc, because this page is all about insurance doc and its details. So we changed it to that. So let's go ahead and move on to the next group, and the next group is called RG Professionals, and we are currently in insurance. So let's go ahead and rename this. Insurance doc or insurance detail. That's the reference to the video. And the type of content that we want is obviously insurance doc, and it's right here. So let's go ahead and click on it. So we have an error right here. It's called var professional list of professionals. We have to actually access the hidden variables group, which is right on top of the page. These kinds of variables, when you see or use these kind of variables, it's located in the pop-up hidden variables, which is located on top of the page. So it's right here, as you can see from the tiny little preview. So let's go ahead and click on it once, and it's highlighted, which means it's on the page. So let's go scroll right to the top, and it's right here. It has a heading also, hidden variables. So the thing that we want to access is this repeating group. One repeating group accesses another repeating group. Over here you can see that this heading is called war professionals. That's why it's like in this repeating group over here it's like war professionals or professionals. So let's go ahead back to the pop-up hidden variables and change this to insurance details or insurance doc, insurance uh, details. Okay, so now we have renamed it. Let's go ahead and change the type of content to insurance doc, obviously. And let's go ahead and change the data source. We are now currently searching for a list of insurance doc. So the type of content will be insurance doc. So it's somewhere around here. It's right here. So let's go ahead and click on it once. And it's right there. So now we have this constraint, and it is called search text contains a live text search text value in lowercase. This constraint basically has everything to do with the search bar. As you can see, this search bar, which we'll talk about more in the future videos. But basically all you need to know for now is you have to add in a field called the search text. So to add a field, you can click over here, click to add a field, and here you can type in search text, and the field type will be text, and you can go ahead and create. But since I have this, I'm going to cancel this. But if you're wondering how the search text is, it's because of this field. That's pretty much it for search field, which has everything to do with the search bar over here. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and close this right up, and I'm going to go over to conditions. As you can see over here, it's like it has one condition, and it is saying that filters underscore professionals. So filters is basically this, but we do not have any filters or any category to filter out, so we're not going to be using any filter in this tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this entirely, and you can go ahead and remove this. Yeah, so it's done. So now let's go ahead and close this right up and click on this gray area to come out of the pop-up hidden variable, because it is invisible on page load, so that's why it's quite hidden in the elements tray. So now let's go scroll down to RG insurance doc, and this property editor has come up, but we need to scroll down to get to the exact position, but it's highlighted, so we know it is right here. And for the filter, I mentioned that we're not going to be using, so, and the filter is right here actually in this search bar. We have entered into the group inner filter, so I'm going to go into reveal in elements tree, and it has to reveal itself. As you can see here, it's highlighted in blue, so I'm going to click on that once again, and there's another group, and it's right here. And this is the filter, a reusable element. We'll talk more about it in the future videos, but I mentioned we are not going to be using filters because we do not have categories, so I'm going to delete this. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and delete it right there. It takes a few seconds. So let's go ahead and check the next one. Let's go down a group and let's change this as well to insurance doc, and that is done. So let's go ahead and change this as well. Insurance details, and again moving down a group, this also needs to be changed. If you miss one, these errors will show up, so you can click on this and it will direct you to the error. Let's go ahead and change all of this so that when we want a particular element, we can go ahead and click over here, like the small arrow mark. You can click here or you can click over there and you can type in the particular element. So in this case, let's reference uh, RG insurance detail. RG, yeah, it's popped up right there. So this is the element that we want. You can click right there and the property editor will show up and also be on the group as well. So there it is. It is also highlighted so that you know which element it is. So let's direct ourselves back to where we were. Yeah, this element is still there. Insurance doc. Let's rename this as well. Insurance detail. And this is the image and insurance doc. Insurance detail. So let's go ahead and check the next group, which is the parent group's insurance details name. As you remember from our database, we have put in the name, so it automatically corrects itself because the name exists. Whereas in this professionals, we do have a name. This field is a name, so it has corrected itself. So there's nothing wrong in it. So let's go ahead and check the next option. You can manually go down like this. Otherwise, it's really nice if you access the elements tree because it doesn't miss out anything. You can go step by step. Whereas in like manually hovering over and clicking, you might miss a thing or two because of the hidden groups or elements. So let's start from the top again. This is the group inner details. It is connected. So let's go ahead and check this group's insurance details name. This is connected. So the next is MF professionals. It is this the three dots. We'll come back to it in a bit once we have sorted out all the fields. So moving on to the next is the posted by. This is pretty much correct because it's the same thing for the other pages as well. So the next is contact number. We don't really have a contact number in this, but we can put in another uh, number. So moving on to the next, which is the lower portion, which is contact number, but let's focus on office address. So in this case, we can just click on it because it's just next portion and it's visible on the screen. So for office address, I shall switch this up to policy number, as you can see here, policy number. And this rich text editor, when you click on it, you get this really nice like word format thing. So you can go ahead and type in policy, it's wrong spelling obviously, policy number, and click on enter. So it's going to take this formatting and put it up here. As you can see here, there's obviously a difference in formatting between Alaska 14021 and office address. So it's basically like that. And let's do the same for contact number, which we obviously need to change. So for this, we'll put in amount insured, and same thing, rich text editor. Contact number will be replaced with amount insured, and enter and click on save. So let's go ahead and do the same for the rest of the fields. We definitely need to add a bit more fields because we definitely have about 8 different fields, but we have accomplished 3, so we need to add 5 more, or just like 3 more fields. Let's do that. Policy number is done, insured, amount insured, and email. Let's change this to the issue date, and we also need to change this policy number. Let's do that. Policy number and amount insured. ensure, and changing this to email. Email, but it's not really email, but my bad. Issue, issue date. Okay, so let's change this as well. Date, save, and residence address. Also, we need to put in the maturity date. Okay, so we have renamed it. Okay, we have to still rename residence address. We have to switch that out. So maturity date. Okay, so click on save. So that's done. We have five fields done. So let's go ahead and see what this is. This is a drop down with different options, but we are not going to be using that. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and switch this out. So to switch it to a text like this, all we can do is click on it, replace by another type. Click on that, new element type, and we can do is uh, text field is not there, so we can actually go ahead and delete it and copy these uh, fields, these text boxes from here. So let's go ahead and click on it, and we have this multi drop down category, and see what you are deleting, otherwise it will be a huge problem later on. So click on delete and delete, and it's gone. Now it's gone. Okay,